I mean, but the problem with Phil is like he is a slave to structure, and I am not.
Urban style individual.
What's up with y'all? Hopefully this video finds you in good spirits, and if not, well, at least you not DSP. And what do we have here? Here we have Wings of Redemption's response to being banned from the Level 1 podcast. And what's interesting about this is throughout this whole situation, Phil was trying to model himself as a potential friend to Wings of Redemption, right? A so-called friend. But the second Wings didn't play ball, he didn't allow Phil to play puppet master. All of a sudden, Phil had all these crazy things to say. Now, the question is, did Phil feel like that in the moment once he felt like he was slighted? Or did he feel that way about Wings the entire time? Let's get into it.
I see your boy DSP talking some shit about me. I'll talk about that later when we got more than 30 people in here.
Yeah, you're banned from the Level 1 podcast.
Yeah, banned from the Level 1 podcast. I mean, like...
Now, you see the energy from the beginning when they say that he's banned from the Level 1 podcast. Look at Jordy's face and whoever his partner was that was on there with him. They laughing about it, right? It's a joke to them. It's not a big deal. And Phil, this should be very eye-opening to you because you thought this guy was beneath you, but you banned him from your platform, and here he is with his homeboy laughing about it.
I like talking to Phil. I think he's a cool person. I mean, but the problem with Phil is like he is a slave to structure, and I am not.
That's very true. Phil is a slave to structure, but Phil is a slave to structure because he has to be. The bricks that are around him were placed by him, but they were not placed there intentionally, right? He's in a cage that he built unbeknownst to him, right? So because Phil understands that if he's away for too long, Pignosis will start to lose its strength. So a part of what makes him what he is his reliability, so he can keep up that parasocial relationship.
Like, honestly, I like being able to sleep when I want to sleep. I like doing shit spontaneously, and I like being left the fuck alone. That's who I am as a person, right? Like, I'm a little autistic when it comes to shit.
Let me say this real quick. Some people are introverted, and that's okay. But that doesn't mean that you can't be cordial, right? That you can't be respectful, all right? There's a big difference.
And it is what it is. Generally, like anybody's ever done like any kind of long-term project with me, you know, like you tell me when it happens, and if I can't make it, I'll let you know ahead of time. If I don't say anything, expect me to be there. Yeah, I don't got to talk about it. I don't want to sit there and like plan it. I don't want to do none of that mess.
Now, you see that, Phil? You've been watching all this Wings of Redemption detractor content, and you still haven't figured this guy out. You should have known that the hard hammer approach was not going to work with him. You should have known that wasn't going to work. And even though you have your issues with Keemstar, or apparently y'all good now, you should have took a page out of his book, because you can say what you want to say about him, but he was able to wrangle Wings of Redemption and Boogie. So obviously he's doing something right.
I don't check my emails ever. 100% I do not. I don't check my email at all.
So if you don't check your email at all, why do you have it? That doesn't make sense to me, especially if you're in this lane. You know, you call yourself an entertainer or you want to be professional. Obviously, you should have some way for people to reach you reliably. You know, people don't have all day. I mean, who does this guy think he is? Like, this ain't the 1990s, bro. You got to get with the times.
Matter of fact, I couldn't tell you what day of the week it is right now. Could not tell you.
So this guy is so disillusioned, right? And so divorced from reality that he can't even tell you what day it is. Now, for many of us, we experience this moment to moment. Sometimes you might be at work and be like, what time is it? What's the day again? You know, but you have interest in knowing what the day actually is. He doesn't know. And from when the looks of it, it looks like he doesn't even care. And let me say this. If you ever find yourself in a position like this, the first thing you need to do is stop doing whatever you're doing. Okay, because that means you are in far too deep, that you are not even recognizing basic concepts something as simple as time passing. This guy is disillusioned and he needs to step away from what he's doing so he can actually get an accurate account of what's going on around him.
What's up, Mario? What you doing up this early? It's Tuesday? It's Monday?
It's Monday.
Okay, it's Monday. Okay, cool. So it's Monday. I know it's the 15th.
And you see, even when he finally figured out what the day was, it was just like, okay, like it was another day. And this is a very dangerous place to be in because time is the most valuable thing that you have, right? So you should be very careful about how you spend it and who you give it to. But for him, it's just another day, it's just Groundhog Day. And whenever you see somebody like this who is treating time as if it's infinite, you should distance yourself from them because they're going to pull you into their misery. Because like the old saying goes, misery loves company. And people can call that cliche all they want to, but you have to think about why a statement has stood the test of time. It's usually because it's true.
I look at it this way, right? Let's say I'm asking Spaceman to be on my podcast. I go, hey, Spaceman, would you be on my podcast? And Spaceman says nothing. I'm going to automatically assume Spaceman doesn't want to be on the podcast this week because he didn't say anything, right? I'm not.
That would be most people's response or how most people would react in that situation. We would automatically assume that that person is not interested. But Phil has a heightened view of himself. He feels he's far more important than he actually is. So when you ignore him, he thinks something's wrong with you because nothing surely could be wrong with him, right? Because obviously he did everything correct. Like, come on, man.
I'm not going to sit there and ask him 16 times. Right? I know it's like cordial and like things like, hey, probably not, man. And like, I just hate the song of day. You know what I hate the most in life? The petty small talk that people have. I don't care about the weather. I don't care about your day. I don't care about your kids. I don't want to talk about it. My wife gets to me all the time because, your boy Jordy.
You should probably listen to her because we're not telling you that you should grab somebody's pom-poms and run up the street saying hi to everybody. That's not what we're saying. But it would do you some good to be cordial, to be professional, to be an adult. That's it. It's just a formality that this is what separates us from children, that we engage in systems that we probably don't want to engage with, but we know we need to. That's it. And I know some people are antisocial and they don't like doing certain things. And I understand that, but you get a lot further with sugar than you ever will with salt. And you never really know how you could change somebody's day. He doesn't seem like somebody who's going to be smiling ear to ear, greeting somebody. But I've heard him tell a few jokes. I've heard him say a few things. So he does have something that he can offer in that scenario. He just chooses not to because he's so miserable.
You might find you surprising, but I visited a fast food window or two in my life. And my wife hates it when I'm the driver at the fast food window because I don't talk to the motherfuckers, right? And I tell her all the time, like, they don't want to talk to me. They don't care about my day. I am customer number 362 this evening, right?
What, does she have a conversation
Yeah,
with
she tries to have conversations with them. She asked them about how their day and like it shit like that, like the small talk shit. I'm like, dog, here's the money. Give me my food.
Look, small talk is important. Small talk is how people gesture without pounding their chest. Small talk, if this was a fighting game, is how you win neutral, so to speak. It'll take you far. And because sometimes your skill set or the things you do may not be enough to push you along, but you may get along because people like you. Being likable is a very good trait to have. Does that mean be fake? No, be yourself 100%, right? But when it makes sense, try to be charitable, try to be reasonable, always be respectful, always be professional, man. It's not going to hurt nothing. It'll only help you in the end.
Yeah, that's all I want. I don't want to talk to you. I want to hear about your day. I understand you have to say stuff to me because corporate makes it feel like you're more approachable. I don't care. I used to work in fast food. I worked at Domino's, fast-ish food, right? You know what we wanted to talk to about customers? What's your name? Oh, this you? Cool. Have a good day. That's it. That's all they want from you.
That's not always true. Some people go into areas that they know they're going to mix and mingle with people because they actually enjoy it, Wings. I mean, just think about that for a second. Some people actually enjoy interacting with other people, talking to other people, and sharing ideas. But I did want to cover this because this was, you know, his reaction to what Phil had to say, or his response. But it made me think. It's very important that you understand why people are around you and what their motives actually are and why they are keeping you in their sphere. Is it because of something you're providing, right? Are you giving them a ride to work every single day? Are you putting gas in their car? Are you watching their kids? You know, and if you stop doing those things, would they still be your friend? You know, are they leashing off of you, or are they genuine? Or are you the person that is of concern in this particular situation? You never know. But it's important when you're dealing with other people that you put the appropriate amount of expectations on people. Therefore, you won't have big disappointments, because disappointment is directly tied to expectation and the level of expectation that we put on people. You should put the appropriate amount. Therefore, you'll never be disappointed. You know, you'll always know what to expect from certain people. And that way you can avoid dumb shit. This is what it is. But that's it on this video. But what we're going to do next is we're going to cover, because this is a Lumix video here. Phil left comments in these videos, okay, on a few of these videos. He has been watching detractor content at a high clip, and I want to cover some of the stuff that he was saying. So that's next. So here we are in the comment section of that same video that I just covered. And as you can see, Phil is using his sock account. Now, I don't know what time of day this was. I'm assuming it's 3 or 4 in the morning. But you can see here, Phil was upset. He says, talk shit about me saying I'm a slave to structure. Then goes on to make $5.50 that entire stream. How is being spontaneous working for you, Jordy? Now you see how he's trying to do big bank, take little bank. See how he's trying to say or act as if, you know, because Wings didn't take his advice, now he's suffering. And all you had to do was listen to me and you wouldn't be in a much better state. See how he is? He goes on to say, having a work ethic and professionalism isn't being a slave. It's called being intelligent and hardworking. Not a lazy ass who makes excuses for the fact that he's such a lazy ass. You can get lazy after you're successful, not before, because then you're in demand and people will put up with it. Now, I want people to pay very close attention to what Phil said in that last part of his message. He says, you can get lazy after you're successful. And this sums up Phil's thought process entirely. He believes that he's successful, and this is why he chooses to do nothing on his streams day after day. What happened with the Asmongold arc? He had nothing lined up for those people. What did he do? Chill with Phil constantly in a setup stream because he felt like he was successful, so he didn't have to do anything because people will quote unquote put up with it. Crazy. He goes on to say, this guy will be back on lolcow Live soon once the stockpile of money is pissed away, methinks. So Phil's trying to be funny. He's trying to pop shot. He's trying to big bro him. And even if he did go on lolcow Live again, Phil, so what? You know, he's still gonna have more bread than you. And from what I understand, he actually owns components of his life, his house. He actually has a nest egg, things you wish you had. You know what I'm saying? So there's a part of Phil that actually envies parts of Wings, whether he wants to admit that or not. You know, and then obviously you got people in here in the comments going crazy, just completely ripping his head off. Bro side up in here, YPIG up in here. Y'all go read the comments. It was crazy. But let's get to the next one. Now here we are with another Lumix video. This is from 3 days ago that Phil is commenting on. So we know that when Phil is off, he's watching detractor content, even though he tells his audience he's so busy, he can't set up anything off stream. He has to record himself setting up the room because he don't have time. Yet here he is watching 15, 20-minute detractor videos about Wings of Redemption, somebody he claims he was trying to be a friend to. You just can't make this stuff up, man. So Phil says once again on his DSP Reacts sock account, Wings thinks the guy who sends him money is his friend. Now he's talking about one of Wings' pay pigs. Now listen to this. The same guy who timed me out for 24 hours as I was asking how much I had to send to hit Wings goals during a live stream, preventing me from doing so. What he did was prevent you from derailing Wings' stream, Phil. You got timed out because you were acting like a damn fool. That's what happened. He goes on to say, and now Wings is banned from my show as a result. Whoop-de-doo, Phil. Did you see their reaction to what you said? Nobody cares. Being banned from the Level 1 podcast at this point is a badge of honor. Like, let's be real. He goes on to say, so any goodwill he got from his first appearance has been reversed and he's stuck in the same place forever. See, Phil actually thought that he had something to give. He really thinks he's the big dog and people are watching him because of him. No, Phil, people, the Asmongold viewership were watching you because the person that they like was interested in you at the time. And they moved on almost as quickly as he did. That's it. You didn't have anything to pass to Wings because you didn't retain it yourself. Look at you. You're back at square one. And in some cases, you're far worse. So what really are you talking about? Phil goes on to say, but who are we kidding? Wings wants to be stuck in the same place forever and his actions prove it. He never wants to improve or branch out. He wants to sit there and take $500 donations from Redface while he stuffs his face. Redface isn't a friend. He's an enabler. So Phil can recognize dents and pay pigs in other people's lane, but he can't recognize his own. So if Redface isn't a friend, he's an enabler. Who is Iron Chef Sakai, Phil? Who is OIC? Who is 1 Minute Man? And all these other dents who have come and went over the years who have been keeping your business afloat. You act like you've been backstroking this whole time, bro. You've been doggy pedaling. I mean, let's be real about it. And you felt like you had enough clout that people can see you punching on somebody else and thought that it would be verified. Like, oh yeah, look how good of a person Phil is. Because even though Phil was going to break Wings' balls on his show, show him what he should be doing and showing Wings how great his new setup was, he was going to be popping shots at him, but he was going to frame it like he was a good person because he allowed him, Wings of Redemption, to get the rub. See what I'm saying? Phil, you are past the point of having real notoriety in a way that you can benefit somebody in a good way. You're beyond that. You no longer have celebrity. You're not famous. You're infamous. There's a big difference. When you're famous, you can leverage your fame to do other things. This is why people who are professional athletes generally make more money off the court or off the field through endorsements than they ever do playing the actual sport that they're known for. But when you're infamous, you have that same level of celebrity, but you can't leverage it to do anything. You're just stuck. But you want to sit here and talk about him being stuck in the same place. Phil, even if you are above him in any way, shape, form, or fashion, which I don't agree with, is it really by much, right? Is the space big enough that it's actually worth talking about? Get out of here, man. This dude losing his damn mind. And he felt like he had a target that he can benefit from and at the same time satisfy his ego. So he was going to feel good and his so-called new audience that he thought he had was going to feel good. But it all blew up in your face because you're a damn clown. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Urban style content. I'm dead.